all, welcome all the future doctors and of course doctors and शायद उनके parents भी join हुए हैं. So welcome you all. The behalf of Omijikon, like to special thanks to Dr. Dhara कि उनकी busy schedule में से उन्होंने time निकाल के, of course उन्होंने सामने से approach किया था, सामने से बोला था कि भाई if anything I'm ready to guide. So that's what the required in each and every human being. कि जब आप कहीं पे कुछ भी फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ से अहमदाबाद टू गांधीनगर पहुंच जाओ एंड आपको अच्छे से रास्ता पता हो तो यू शुड गाइड समवन एल्स बिकॉज दैट्स द रीजन भगवान ने हमें दो हाथ दिए हैं. एक हाथ हमारे अपने हेल्प के लिए और दूसरा जो हाथ है वो यू कैन हेल्प अदर पीपल. सो डॉक्टर धारा का इंट्रोडक्शन मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. दैट्स कि brilliant students from the first day of the PMTC, as I remember, always asking the question, always career oriented person, always उनका पहले से गोल फिक्स होता था. MBBS complete उन्होंने 2020 में किया. After that first try, she cleared FMG, Foreign Medical Graduate Examination in India. Then she completed her internship in 2022. After that, USMLE step 1, 2, 3. Step 1 in 2019, step 2 जो है वो 2020 and step 3 2023 में उन्होंने कंप्लीट किया and she is right now जो है वो permanent registration with the GMC 2022 में उन्होंने permanent registration मिला उनको. ECFMG certified 2022 and currently rotating in the United States as a clinical observer. Guys, ये कुछ seconds का जो introduction है ना इसको पाने के लिए ऑलमोस्ट उन्होंने जो है वो स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द 2000 आई कैन से एज आई रिमेम्बर दैट्स 2017 और फिर उसके बाद इन बिटवीन धारा विल शेयर द ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन. उन्होंने काफी बार आई थिंक 2 or 3 टाइम्स शी विजिटेड ऑलरेडी USA फॉर रोटेशन एंड ऑल द थिंग्स. एज आई रिमेम्बर येलो फीवर वैक्सीनेशन एंड ऑल द स्टफ. सो उनके पापा भी बहुत एक्टिव, बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिव. आई वांट टू रिमेम्बर हिम बिकॉज मे बी वो ज्वाइन करने वाले थे. उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया नहीं, दैट आई डोंट नो, बट वो ज्वाइन करने वाले. लेकिन मैं उनको इसलिए रिमेम्बर करना कि इज रियली एक्टिव पेरेंट्स. ये एग्जांपल इसलिए दे रहा हूँ कि काफी पेरेंट्स भी यहाँ पे ज्वाइन हुए हैं. एक्टिव पेरेंट्स यानी कि कोई भी सेमिनार हो, कोई भी इवेंट हो, कुछ भी है, वो ऑलवेज एक्टिव थे. बिफोर, आफ्टर, इवन राइट नाउ. अभी लास्ट मेरा जो वडोदरा में सेमिनार था उसमें उनको कंजक्टिवाइटिस आई इन्फेक्शन हुआ था. इसलिए नहीं आए थे क्योंकि दूसरों को वो इन्फेक्ट नहीं करना चाहते थे. सो स्पेशली लास्ट ईयर यानी कि 2 साल पहले एक इवेंट थी, उसमें भी उन्होंने वो नहीं ना आ पाए थे बिकॉज ऑफ फैमिली रीजन. एंड उन्होंने एक ऑडियो मैसेज भेजा था एंड दैट वी प्लेड ड्यूरिंग अवर सेमिनार. So that's what the quality in the father. So કુવામાં હોય તો વેડામાં આવે જ, ગુજરાતીમાં કહેવત છે. So that's what the quality of father and mother, and of course that's what we can see in you, Dr. Dhara. Really proud moment for me कि मुझे चांस मिला है कि आपको मैं इंट्रोड्यूस कर पाऊँ front of all the future doctors and parents. And प्रार्थना करूँगा कि आप जो है आपकी जो गोल है बड़ी बुलंदियों तक पहुंच है, बहुत अचीव करे मेडिकल फील्ड में. और इसी तरीके से जिस तरीके से आपने सामने से इनिशिएटिव लिया है टू हेल्प फ्यूचर डॉक्टर्स एंड डॉक्टर्स ऑफ इंडिया एंड अदर कंट्रीज ऑफ कोर्स. सो दैट्स ग्रेट. सो वेलकम यू एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच. प्लीज, सो यू कैन अनम्यूट Dhara and you can just maybe.
Thank you so
Yes.
Hello, thank you so much for the introduction, and I'm just grateful that you invited me here. And so basically, when I was starting to prepare for this journey, I always wanted someone who could guide me, but unfortunately there were very few people at the time. So I'm just passionate about guiding medical students, especially from Grodno, because I'm more attached there, and I think our curriculum there is amazing, so they deserve a chance to this kind of examination, and for that they definitely require some guidance. Yeah, so basically my goal is just that. And today I'm just going to talk about USMLE. I will just give a brief introduction to everyone, and if you have any questions you can just ask me by the end of the presentation, or if you have any question about the study material or cost, I've sent a PDF to Sarika ma'am from Omagicon. You can just directly contact them and they will just send you the PDF. So and also this presentation is mostly for people who are in their preclinical years and or who are just starting their journey. So what is USMLE? So after you graduate, there are a lot of paths you can take. For example, if you want to study in India, you have NEET PG. For example, if you want to further study in USA, there is this examination called as USMLE. So I'm just going to talk about that, okay? So let's take a quick look at what I'm going to talk about today. Just a brief introduction and the study materials or study strategies. And I'll also talk about suitable timeline for preparation. And later on, we'll just delve into Q&A. Okay. So what is USMLE? So it is a licensing examination you have to pass before you can start residency in the United States. It assesses a physician's ability to apply knowledge, concepts, and principles necessary. So it is divided into 3 parts. There are 3 parts of the USMLE: Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3. So Step 1 and Step 2 you can give before joining residency, and Step 3 is after you join residency or after you complete both the steps, and there is a certificate called as ECFMG. After you get that, you can give the Step 3 examination. Okay. So for Step 1, this is the first step you give for USMLE. It is so the US graduates take it after the second year of medical school, but it is different if you are from India or if you are studying in Grodno, because our curriculum is different than the USA curriculum, right? So that's why we won't be able to give it after second year, because our preclinical subjects are basically they take up to 3 years, so we can only give it after 3 years. It focuses on basic science concepts like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, pharmacology, and microbiology. It is a multiple choice examination, and it is an 8-hour test. It consists of 7 blocks, which is 60 minutes each, and a 45-minute break in between. After that, if you pass Step 1, you can go for Step 2. Sometimes people also give Step 2 before Step 1, but mostly the known route is to give Step 1 before Step 2. So Step 2 is basically to examine your ability to apply the medical knowledge which you have gained in your preclinical years, and yeah. So it also consists of blocks of 40 questions. It is 60 minutes each, and it is a 9-hour examination. The number of questions is 318. And there is this last step, which is Step 3. It is usually taken after you match into a residency or after you get an ECFMG certificate. But for medical students, I think most important is Step 1 and Step 2. For Step 3, you can just forget about it right now and you can focus on it later. So I just want to quickly talk about some study strategies you can incorporate into your education while you are studying in your medical school. You can have a structured schedule. So you can establish a well-structured study schedule that includes dedicated time for each step, along with your normal studies which you do in your medical school. You can there are a lot of resources for USMLE, and you can choose what works best for you, because it is not one size fits all. So you can use quality resources. Also, you always have to practice. even after you graduate, medicine is practiced. So you always hear that, okay, he's practicing. So just practice. And collaboration. So you can just form study groups with your friends, or if you prefer to study alone, it's you can skip this part. And also, being in medical school is very it can be exhausting physically and mentally. Sometimes we tend to neglect our mental health, but it's much more better if you focus on your mental well-being along with this journey. Also, I also wanted to share the cost of the examination, because the whole USMLE process to residency, it is really expensive, and it can cost you from about 15 lakh to 30 lakh, because it's not only just examinations, because you have to do rotations as well. You have to do research, and it costs a lot of money, but it is all worth it in the end. So just so you can make an informed decision, I just wanted to share the examination fees as well. So it's about 965, so it's about $1,000 per exam. So if you take all the 3 steps, it can cost you $3,000. Yes. And these are the various resources you can use. There are a lot more than this, but these are just the most popular one, which are shown here. And I also made a PDF which I shared with Omegicon, and you can just get the PDF from them, and you can choose the resource which works best for you, because what might work. Yes. And these are the various resources you can use. There are a lot more than this, but these are just the most popular one, which are shown here. And I also made a PDF which I shared with Omegicon, and you can just get the PDF from them, and you can choose the resource which works best for you, because what might work for me, it's not necessarily that does not necessarily work for everybody. So this is just a brief introduction for USMLE, if for students who are not much aware about this examination. And yeah, so and now I just want to briefly talk about my journey. So I graduated from Grodno State Medical University in 2020, and after graduating, I completed my internship in India in 2022, and I'm currently rotating in the United States. I'm doing some observerships here in the hospital because I'm in the process of applying to residency. I've completed all my 3 steps, and I've also received the permanent registration from GMC. So this is a brief insight into my journey, and I want to make this session more interactive. So if you guys have any questions, that is the best way for you to gain knowledge, because if you ask questions, you will know the exact answers. So anybody who wants to ask me questions can ask now.
So Dhara, first of all, I want to ask you, कब से हमें if you want to plan for USMLE step 1, step 2 or step 3, of course step 1 is the first part. So कब से, from which year, or from कब से हमें start करना चाहिए preparation?
Okay, so thank you for the question. What I would say is you can start preparing for this exam since day 1 of your medical school, because the curriculum is same, right? Whatever you study in your medical school, that's what they ask in the examination. And also, even if you don't want to practice medicine in US, you can still study for this examination, because it is one of the very competitive, you can say, or it is considered really hard on the tough on that level. So if you study for this examination, it will be easier for you to clear any other examination. That's what I would say. So just start from day 1. You can just buy the first aid, and while you are studying for your examination in your college, you can just alongside review the resources for the USMLE, like the first aid, or you can see Kaplan videos alongside your education. So I would say from day 1.
ओके ग्रेट, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर क्वेश्चन। ये है कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल स्टूडेंट्स, आपने जैसे बताया कि कॉस्टिंग विल नियर बाय 30 to 50 lakhs, बट स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट डे ऑफ यूजी और एमबीबीएस और मेडिकल जर्नी start doing the research work, social work, rotation, and all the stuff, then what you will say? What will be the cost?
I think it will be the same. It is very expensive process. Even if you rotate before you graduate, it will still cost you a lot. Because it is United States. I mean, here everything is expensive. So for rotation, if you travel here, definitely there is going to be an expense. So I would say it can be from 15 lakh to 30 lakh or more. But if you're really passionate about working here, I think it's worth investing. It's an investment because you will definitely get the returns if you work hard and smart.
Yes. So next question same उसी चीज के लिए है कि आफ्टर क्लियरिंग स्टेप 3 जो है वो, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मुझे इफ आई एम गेटिंग सर्जिकल ब्रांच और क्लिनिकल ब्रांच और नॉन क्लिनिकल ब्रांच, then what will be the paid, monthly paid or monthly salary?
Okay. So for IMGs, that is International Medical Graduate, it's some of the fields are easier to get in. For example, like internal medicine or family medicine, comparatively easier than surgical branches. It is much more tough to get into a surgical branch. But if you start working here as a resident, you will earn 60,000 USD annually, which is a resident salary. But after you complete your 3 years of education, you can start earning from anywhere from 200,000 to $700,000. So it depends on which branch you are in. If you are in internal medicine, you can start from $200,000.
So
minimum.
ये जो आपने कॉस्टिंग बताया जो 30 to 50 lakhs, वो कब तक बाहर निकल जाएगा, मींस इक्वल हो जाएगा?
I mean, I'm not really good at math, but I think just in few years you can get back the money you invested.
I think in few months.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's a huge pay, and that's what we need to think about. Of course, the next question is that जो comment आ रहे हैं वो सारे questions भी definitely हम we will ask Dr. Dhara. अगर आप इंडिया से ग्रेजुएट है and have a PG also done from India, what are the avenue to export? Yes, so this is the next question actually. What is the age bar or restrictions of which in which age we should means appear for the step 1, step 2, step 3, और कौन सी एज के बाद थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट होगा एंड ऑल द थिंग्स? दैट्स द मेन 2-3 क्वेश्चंस सेम इसी पैटर्न पे है. सो प्लीज डॉक्टर दारा.
Yes. So it's much more easier if you are a recent grad. So for example, if you have just graduated within the past 3 years, it's much more easier for you to match in the United States. Some programs can have a cutoff, like if you have graduated within the past 5 years, they can look at your application, but if not, they will just not consider you as an applicant. So it's wiser if you apply within the 5 years of your graduation. It gets harder, but it's not impossible. I've heard stories of people matching even after years or even after completing their PG in their home country. It's not as easier, but it's not impossible. Yeah.
Thank you. So for example, almost 10 to 15, more than 10 to 15 people, doctors are coming to me who clear the MBBS in India, and they are asking the same question. What, how, कैसे मैं स्टार्ट करूँ, स्टेप 1, स्टेप 2 वहाँ जाके करूँ, यहाँ करूँ, कोई कोर्स वहाँ पे 1-2 साल का करूँ वहाँ पे, जैसे लाइक हॉस्पिटल मैनेजमेंट और पब्लिक हेल्थ और समथिंग, एंड वहाँ जाके मैं स्टेप 1, स्टेप 2, स्टेप 3 क्या करना चाहिए? मीन्स ऑलरेडी मीन्स जिन्होंने MBBS इंडिया में कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं?
There are a few students. It is a common misconception that if you do a 2-year degree here in the United States, it adds value to your application. Because I have heard attending physicians over here say that they don't really care about those 2 years because it does not impact your career as a medical professional. Some people come here and do some other degrees which are not as related to medicine. So it's easier if you start preparing in India while you work alongside preparation. That is my point of view, but of course there are a lot of people who prefer the other way. They come here for education, and in those 2 years they also start preparing for the USMLE. But I think it will just be less cost efficient because it will cost much more for you to get admission here in any course in the United States for a master's.
Great. Next question is that for example, getting license in USA. With the license in USA, in which country I can work without any kind of exam?
Yes, so that's why I want to say that even if you don't want to come to the United States, you can still give this exam, because a lot of countries consider this examination as valid in their own country, like UAE. I'm not sure about all the countries which accept this exam, but I know that UAE accepts step 1 and step 2. Even New Zealand accepts step 1 and step 2.
Also,
you can
Canada also, UK. So 28 countries, and I will share definitely the list of the country. That's already, I think, just one month ago, they declared the list of the country. They accept USMLE step 1 and step 2. Even as I got the information from the immigration department website of UK, they are going to replace the PLAB 1 and PLAB 2 into USMLE and step 1, step 2. So that's the good news for all who are preparing for the USMLE.
So yeah, even if you are not planning to come here for residency, you can still give this examination. I would advise that.
Yes. So our 58 doctors of Mejikorn family appear for the step 1, and after clearing the step 1, the benefit what I can see is that they clear FMGE in first time without any kind of coaching class, without any kind of effort. So that's what the plus point or benefit of preparing such kind of exam like USMLE. Next question for you, Dr. Dhara, is that for example, what I should do during this my 6 years in GRSMU Belarus कि कुछ मुझे फायदा हो जाए, means I can get some extra benefit, not except the of course preparation of step 1, step 2 or step 3 preparation, except that what I should do.
I would say in your except USMLE, I would advise you to be proactive. In your 6 years, you can volunteer for stuff besides medical education. You can volunteer and you can also get involved in research. That's one thing which I wish I would have known. I would have done it more, because research is much more appreciated by programs now. Everything is getting so competitive, so it's better if you prepare beforehand. So I would say within your 6 years, you can just be proactive, look for volunteer opportunities, ask your professors if you can participate in any research projects or stuff like that. Besides studying, I would just advise you to be proactive and find opportunities and responsibilities which can just grow you professionally and also develop character. So just be proactive.
Right, thank you. Dr. Dhara, I want to maybe आपको पता होगा, maybe you don't know about this information, but right now in GRSMU, Grodno State Medical University, Grodno, Belarus, so we have a international research society. Officially, and almost they are publishing research work every month, and in that society already department wise students can participate. You can visit the Facebook and Instagram page. I'll love to ask all the future doctors and doctors So research work is available, and not only in the GRSMU but also in India, but in India a little bit difficult. So Dr. Dhara, I want to ask you next question. What is the difference? Means अगर मैं ये 2024 के एक स्टूडेंट है जिन्होंने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा, जो अभी हमारे साथ लाइव जुड़े हुए हैं, कि आई एम प्लानिंग टू डू माई MBBS फ्रॉम GRSMU, but in case I want to settle down in USA or want to clear all the step with the USMLE this and that, तो कहाँ से MBBS कर तो ज्यादा फायदा होगा? मीन्स in India or from Belarus or from where?
That's an interesting question. I don't have much experience about how education system works for medical school in India, but I can say about Grodno State Medical University. I got admitted in 2014 and I graduated in 2020. And I would say these were the best 6 years of my life. And the education in GRSMU is underrated because I really appreciated the fact that we were just 10 students in each class. So we were given so much attention by all the professors. And I think that's why the education that there is, I appreciate the education curriculum there because you can get attention from each professor and in each subject. And also the timetable is much more efficient. So it's usually starts from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and you can work on your own after 2 p.m. So I mean, I would say if you are a student in GRSM, it's much more possible for you to study for USMLE and also to or some other examination like PLAB or FMG. I'm not too sure about India, but I would say if you are a student at GRSMU, I think you are lucky and you would definitely be able to study as much as you can after your classes are done.
So, Dr. Dhara, like you, Dr. Akash already cleared the step 3, and recently, after clearing, he is right now doing the internship in Rajkot, and he just came back from US and 2 weeks ago. So 29th of we meet each other, and at that time we recall you also. The thing is that same thing he also told you that also give information shortly. We will organize kind of meet with him also, क्योंकि देखिए बहुत जैसे डॉक्टर धारा ने बताया कि फर्स्ट डे से प्रिपरेशन होनी चाहिए, तो अगेन बहुत सारे यही टॉपिक के ऊपर क्वेश्चन है कि थर्ड ईयर से स्टार्ट करें सेकंड ईयर से. सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू रिपीट दैट क्वेश्चन. जो रिपीट नहीं हो रहे वही क्वेश्चन मैं पूछूंगा. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि कौन से क्लासेस, कौन सी बुक्स एंड कौन सी जो एप्लीकेशंस है हमें फॉलो करनी चाहिए टू गेट हाई स्कोर एंड क्लियर ऑल द स्टेप्स ऑफ USMLE.
Yeah. Yes, I know Akash is done with all the 3 steps, and I'm so proud of all the juniors. I think we have a lot of people clearing USMLE from Grodno State. So I'm just proud of everybody. And about coming back to the question, I would say if you're preparing for USMLE, you can just, I think in the initial years, first and second year, you can just focus on the basic subjects like physiology, anatomy, and pathology. You can there are a lot of books like Robbins. You can focus on collecting the information from the books. That's what I prefer. And after that, you can see videos like Boards and Beyond and Kaplan, and you can also make your own flashcards. A well-known flashcard app is called Anki. But you can also you can start doing UWorld, I think, after your 3rd year. I think it's much more efficient to do after 3rd year because you have just gained all the preclinical knowledge which you can apply to the application. And you can also see Sketchy Micro for microbiology. You can use Pathoma. It is a well-known resource since years, and I think that is one amazing resource you can use. And there are a lot more. You can just select what works for you because not something that works for me not necessarily works for everybody. Yeah, so as I said, I have just sent the PDF to Omechicon with all the resources, and you can just pick and select whichever works for you. Yeah, but my main advice is to focus on the traditional books or traditional videos and lectures in your college for the preclinical subjects, and then start with the more niche like boards and beyond and Kaplan.
So I request all the members, future doctors, to comment your questions in chat box.
Yeah.
So there are a few comments and questions in chat box. That's what is the cutoff marks of USMLE, Dr. Dhara?
Yeah, so each program has different cutoff. So I just want to basically let you know that after you complete your USMLE, there's this whole process which starts from September and it ends in March. So you start applying to programs. What I mean by program is a hospital which has an internal medicine program. There are a lot of hospitals here, and not all of them are IMG friendly. So you can start applying to programs in September, and eventually you will get interviews, and you will get the match result in March. So now each program has different cutoffs. It can be from 210 to 230, or some can even have higher cutoffs, like 240. It varies from program to program, but I would say you should maybe if you're scoring more than 230, it's better. I would say just keep your aim higher, so even if you get a low score, it's still higher because your initial aim was higher. So.
Thank you very much. What is the best timeline to give an exam, like from third year or fourth year?
I would say from fourth year, because if you give your exam in third year, you still have 3 more years of your medical education left, and then there will be a longer gap between your step 1 and step 2. Because once you give step 1, it's only within 7 years you have to give step 2 and step 3. So if you for example, if you give step 1 in third year, then you will have 3 more years, so the gap will be longer. So I would say you can just start giving your step 1 when you are in 5th year for GRSMU, because we have 6-year course, and for India you can just give it in your 4th year.
So next question, so what hardship did you face in college and how did you overcome it?
I'm a firm believer that hardships can make you a better person. So I'm just more appreciative of whatever hardships I've faced. I would say one of the hardship is not being much aware about this process. I was mostly doing trial and error. I would just make mistakes and learn. So it would have been helpful if I could be more aware, or I could go up to someone and ask questions. But I would say just not knowing much about this whole process was the one thing that I could consider hardship. Because
Okay, so anything or कोई questions किसी को future doctors and doctors, if you ask, please you can ask directly. You can unmute yourself and directly you can ask to Dr. Dhara.
Yeah, I have one question in the chat box. Which field I'm preferring? So I'm applying to internal medicine. Yeah. There are a lot of fields there, but surgical fields are harder to get in here. And I was always interested more in internal medicine. I like the aspect of just combining integrating the lab works, history, physical examination, coming up with the diagnosis. So I prefer internal medicine. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions?
मैं कुछ add on करूँगा, Dr. Dhara. From this year, all the USMLE step 1, step 2, step 3, lab 1, 2, and all other examination, more than 18 examination in the world, including FMG and PG, all the materials we are providing the soft copy in the pen drive to all students, and also hard copy will reach till end of December in Grodno State Medical University. ग्रोथनो स्टेट मेडिकल यूनिवर्सिटी के जितने भी सब्जेक्ट्स वाइज जो फाइनल एग्जाम होते हैं जिसमें एक एमसीक्यूज एग्जाम होती थी और उस एमसीक्यूज एग्जाम्स में सारे एमसीक्यूज रिप्लेस किए जाएंगे इस 18 एग्जाम्स के बेस पे. So they will not means take the exam of MCQs related means जो उनके थे especially for the our students they will replace all these MCQs. So that's a great news जो मैं आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहूँगा जो I think अब यूएसए में तो आपको ये अपडेट नहीं होगी. Research is this. Yes, please Dhara.
Yeah, I think that's amazing that you are providing resources. That's really great thing for students, I would say.
Yes, so that's because of result of your batch and of course other batch, especially your juniors are make really great not only in USMLE but also in other exams. So next question for you, Dhara, is the research is necessary to get admission in any specialty?
Yes, I will. It's not mandatory, but it's everybody's preferring research because all the applicants are getting so competitive. Everybody's ready to do everything they can. So I think it's better if you get involved in research, and you should not leave any stone unturned, I would say. So definitely do research, even if it's not mandatory. Everybody's doing it, and even if you are not interested in research, just learning the basics and maybe writing 1 or 2 paper can help you in your career.
So अगर इसके अलावा किसी के कोई भी क्वेश्चंस है तो डायरेक्टली आप पूछ सकते हैं क्योंकि मेरे क्वेश्चंस ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीट हो चुके. पब्लिकेशंस एंड द बुक्स के बारे में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं लेकिन वो मैं पूछ नहीं रहा हूँ क्योंकि डॉक्टर धारा विल शेयर यू ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन बाय पीडीएफ एंड ऑफ कोर्स एक सरप्राइज भी है जो मैं आपके साथ एंड ऑफ द सेशन में शेयर करूंगा आप सभी के साथ जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं. सो अगर आपके कोई भी क्वेरीज है जो डायरेक्टली आप डॉक्टर धारा से पूछना चाहते हैं, यू कैन अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड यू कैन आस्क.
I can see some questions in the chat. So there's this question, is it necessary to have degree for step 2? So the answer is no. For step 2 you don't require a degree, but for step 3 you need an ECFMG certificate. For that you will just require to pass step 1, step 2, OET, and you also need NOC from GMC or whichever board you got your certificate from. The other question is about scholarship.
I want to disturb you a little bit, interrupt you. Dr. Dhara, here you mentioned really quite good thing. Step 1, step 2 not required any kind of degree, but
Yes.
step 3 required degree, internship, and all the stuff like local registration of with any country body or state or something. Okay, in kind of registration. So plus point here. I want to mention, especially for the future doctors who are going right now, who are studying in the Grodno State Medical University, Grodno, Belarus, and of course who are going to take admission this year. देखिए आपको जो है ना वहाँ पे इस साल से जो भी और लास्ट 3 years जो भी स्टडी किया उनको एक 5+1 कोर्स मिलेगा, उनको इंटर्नशिप भी मिल रहा है और उनको एक परमानेंट रजिस्ट्रेशन भी मिल रहा है. सो अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरी बात करूं या डॉक्टर धारा की बात करूं तो हमारे पास ये प्लस पॉइंट नहीं था कि हमारे पास वहां का कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं था या इंटर्नशिप नहीं थी. तो आप अगर 3rd ईयर में से ही ट्राई कर रहे हैं, 3rd ईयर से आप एपीए कर रहे हैं स्टेप 1, स्टेप 2 एंड स्टेप 3, तो आफ्टर एंड ऑफ फॉर एग्जाम्पल 5-6 years you can appear for the step 3 directly without any kind of India experience or internship or FMG. That's a good thing. Please, Dhara.
Yeah. I also have this other questions. One of the question is what you used to do in the 2 months vacation after 2 semester. I would say just enjoy and eat all the food you can because in Grodno I used to miss my Indian food which my mom cooked. But also I would say I volunteer and went to the clinic. So whenever you are free, you can just volunteer. It definitely adds to your career, it adds to your CV. 2 months is a long time. You can definitely give 2 or 3 weeks and just visit your local clinics, or if you know somebody who can just who can allow you to observe the whole process, that would be wonderful for you before you start your career as a doctor.
Yes, of course. 5 years, it means 5 into 10 months. 10 months, you can develop nearby 100 skills. For example, starting from the ECG, from the ventilator, IM, IV, lots of stuff, जो मैं already बताता रहता हूँ different चीज़ों में. और shortly we are going to launch a free of cost course, live course, where you can develop all this skill sitting at home. But better है कि आप जो है nearby हॉस्पिटल्स या फिर क्लिनिक्स या फिर सभी जगह पे जाए एंड एक्सपीरियंस ले. यस प्लीज.
Yeah, that's a great advice. Definitely, you can just utilize your vacation and learn whatever you are interested in. You know. Also, there's this comment. It will be a completely new environment in GRSMU. Any suggestions for new students in their starting days? It will be definitely a new environment, yes. But if you meet anyone who is graduated from GRSMU, will only say positive things about GRSMU. So even if you feel uncomfortable because of new environment, you'll definitely start enjoying soon. Maybe people can take from 1 month to maybe 6 months, but I would say it will be a great experience for you if you're starting your med journey there. The other question is, did you do any research work while you were? So unfortunately, no. I was not, as I said, I was not much aware about research, and I wish I would have done that. So if you get a chance, you can definitely learn more about research and do that.
Dr. Dhara, on the base of your experience, on the base of Dr. Akash, on the base of 58 doctors who already pass out and the clears almost step 1, step 2, and doctors like you, step 3. कंपल्सरी सभी को एटलीस्ट किसी भी सब्जेक्ट्स पे रिसर्च करना है, एंड दैट्स एडेड फ्रॉम राइट नाउ इन द करिकुलम. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, all the doctors who want to do or settle down in USA or crack all the things, तो उनके लिए क्या होता है, recommendation letter and all the things बहुत रिक्वायर्ड. जैसे डॉक्टर आकाश के लिए हमें बहुत इमरजेंसी में सब कुछ करना पड़ा, तो वो हमने क्या किया कि 3rd year के बाद they will collect the recommendation letter and they will submit into international department and the dean office, so they can refresh with the updated date. They will get it just recopy. तो ऐसे ही जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अभी हमारा डॉक्टर रुशवी है जो कनाडा में है, तो उनके लिए भी वही सेम सिचुएशन थी कि जस्ट इन 2 days वी रिक्वायर्ड 5 लेटर्स फ्रॉम द फैकल्टीज. तो ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन ना आए, इसलिए इलेक्ट्रॉनिक जर्नल जो उनके पास है उसमें हम एवरी ईयर वी विल कलेक्ट फ्रॉम द फैकल्टीज ड्यूरिंग स्टडी एंड वी विल सबमिट इट. और फिर जब जरूरत पड़ेगी तो रिफ्रेश डेट के साथ दे विल ईमेल डायरेक्टली, एंड दैट विल बी द रियली ग्रेट थिंग. आई थिंक ये चीज आप अच्छे से समझ पाएंगे कि क्या इसकी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है और कब जब जरूरत पड़ती है तो वी रिक्वायर द टाइम एंड ऑल थिंग्स.
Yes, I think that's a great addition, and definitely letter of recommendations are much more important than I thought they were. I was not aware about this concept of letter of recommendation when I was a medical student, but as I'm growing professionally, I've realized it's much more important to get recommendation from people who are well established in their career. For example, a letter from head of department is much more valuable. So yeah, you can just start collecting those letters, and by collecting, I mean you can show interest, you can show that you are passionate about this subject, you can be proactive, you can by showing that you are worth the letter, you can definitely gain many letters if you are if you are ready to work for the letters. I would advise to work before asking for the letter. And yeah, so I think this is a great addition by GRSMU for the letter of recommendations. And also the faculty in GRSMU is much more helpful, because I remember I wanted a letter from head of Department of Internal Medicine, and that professor was super nice. He sent the letter himself to the international department, got it signed, got it returned with the letterhead and everything. So definitely I had an amazing experience with GRSME professors. So yeah, that can be really helpful.
Great. So till now, अगर आपके पास कोई questions है तो please आप chat box में भेज सकते हैं, या फिर you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Otherwise, we are going to end the meeting shortly.
I have this question here. What has better scope, family medicine or internal medicine in USA? And also, what kind of research work should we do? Can you suggest any topic? So both, I think family medicine and internal medicine both have good scope. It depends on what you like. So I would say you can explore and introspect and see which field suits you better, suits your personality better, and move forward with that knowledge. And about any topic, so when you start learning about research, you can come up with a topic which you are interested in. There will definitely be many errors before you come up with a solid topic, but definitely, I mean, for that you need to understand how research works and which topic you are genuinely interested in, and you can just start from there. Also, there's this question, after step 1 exam, when should we go for clinical rotations? So for me, I just went for 1 month when I was in my last year of medical school. I would say it's much more better if you go for rotations while you are a medical student. So whenever you have this 2-month vacation, you can go to the United States for rotation. There are many prestigious organizations which accept students. If you're a graduate, it's hard for you to get an elective, but it's much more easier if you are a medical student. So definitely try and email doctors from this organization like Mayo Clinic, and if you get accepted, it will definitely be a lot more helpful for your profile. So you can utilize your vacations for the rotation, I would say. Anybody has any more questions? I would say all of you are so passionate and asking all these questions. I'm really happy to answer any questions. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Dr. Dhara Patel.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yeah, I am father of Dhruva Tanna. My name is Jayesh Tanna.
Hello.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
मेरा अभी जो क्वेश्चन है वो एज ए फादर क्वेश्चन है. Yeah, Dhruva is also preparing for USMLE. Okay, तो मुझे आपसे पूछना है, आप कैसा फील कर रहे हैं कंप्लीट करने के बाद USMLE 1, 2, 3?
Thank you, sir, for your question. I would say it's amazing if you pass all the 3 steps.
मैं बीच में रोक के बोल देता हूँ, जयेश भाई, आपका क्वेश्चन का आंसर 2 साल के बाद अगर आपको लोन की जरूरत है ना, तो रिजर्व अगर हमें नहीं देगी तो हम धारा पटेल से लोन ले सकते हैं.
Thank you.
Please continue.
Yeah, so I would say
reality थी, but please continue.
Yeah, I would say I feel amazing, but as I said, you can just many countries accept this examination, so I would say definitely it feels good, but I think I would only feel satisfied when I match. That's my goal. So yeah, definitely I feel good. Thank you so much for your question.
Yeah, thank you.
सो थैंक यू वेरी मच। यूएसए में सबसे कीमती चीज होती है ना, वो टाइम होती है। सब कुछ टाइम पे होता है, सब कुछ। इंसान कोई भी हो, जैसे वही डॉक्टर हिरेन या फिर काफी मेरे जो स्टूडेंट्स थे, अभी तो डॉक्टर बन चुके हैं। सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट, मेरे बहुत सारे फ्रेंड्स है, फेलोज है, मेरे बहुत सारे सीनियर्स है जो अभी सेटल डाउन है इन यूएसए, रिलेटिव्स भी है। सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज होती है वहां का टाइम। सो वो प्रीशियस टाइम निकाल के डॉक्टर दारा हमारे साथ जुड़े, और आप सभी फ्यूचर डॉक्टर्स एंड डॉक्टर्स को बहुत प्रीशियस, आई थिंक टू द पॉइंट, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर दिए। और सिंपली थिंग इज दैट मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंस पे ही बोलता हूँ हमेशा। जो मैंने गलतियां की होती है उसी के ऊपर फोकस करता हूँ, उसी के ऊपर ही पॉइंट आउट करता हूँ। स्टार्ट प्रिपरेशन फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट डे, स्टेप फर्स्ट आफ्टर थर्ड ईयर, फिर उसके बाद ऑटोमेटिकली सारी चीजें होने लगेगी। अभी आपके पास बहुत बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म है, बहुत सारे लोग आपको गाइड करने वाले हैं। एंड ऑफ द सेशन आप सभी को व्हाट्सएप के माध्यम से कैप्टन की सारी बुक की पीडीएफ फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट मिलने वाली है। डॉक्टर दारा विल शेयर यू द मटेरियल फ्रॉम वेयर यू कैन स्टार्ट प्रिपरेशन एंड ऑल। दिस इज द टाइम, द रियल टाइम, कि जहाँ पे आप अपना कैरियर बहुत पहले से डिजाइन कर सकते हो, सेट कर सकते हो। एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी डिसाइड द नेम of this session is the roadmap to the USMLE. Yani, I think almost all the right turns, left turns, pre-breakers and everything, all the information is already provided by the Dr. Dhara. And on the behalf of Omejucon, on the behalf of all future doctors and doctors और उनके जो parents आज जुड़े हैं, really appreciate, really thank you very much Dr. Dhara for your precious time and your guidance. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. I would say all the students here, all the best for your future, and be persistent in achieving your goal, and I think all of you will definitely succeed. If you have any questions, I will leave my email with Omejucon, and you can email me. If you don't find any information on Google about any topic, you can email me and I will answer you whenever I can. Thank you so much all for joining, and thank you Umesh sir for giving me this platform and for organizing this for these students. Thank you so much.
And the last thing, Dr. Dhara, you are not physically available here, so I can give you, for example, a memento, or I can appreciate your effort toward the future doctors and the doctors. But what I can do is I'm going to send you the e-certificate or e-appreciation or e-token of love from our side. Please accept it. And again, thank you very much on the behalf of all future doctors and parents and Omejucon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So goodbye everyone, and please आप अपने शब्दों में, अपने words में please give a feedback how you love, like, or about these webinars, seminars, or information by the Dr. Dhara, and all the comments and all the information we will share with the Dr. Dhara. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night. And thank you, Dr. Dhara, again.